Hey, what's up, guys? It's Oblivion here for the Tilted Wolf stream team. We're going to go over a quick guide right now. Since R5 just came out with the auto, we're going to kind of go over a quick guide on monsters you should be using in R5. Monsters that are either free to play, some may not be free to play, but we're going to go over a bunch of different options. You guys are going to be able to figure out what you guys need to use. And some stat requirements that are going to be necessary for you to succeed in R5. So the first one we're going to go with is Mr. Fire Panda Fusion. Very good unit, very solid unit. You do want him on Violent. And you need his skill 2 maxed out. The other skills aren't necessary to max, but you need skill 2 to be maxed. For him, you do want a minimum of 70 resistance. Okay, that actually is pretty important. You only need 70 because you'll have a leader skill that'll give you at least 30, so that'll give you 100 resistance. I'm extra. I went with being a little more and getting 100. But for him, I went speed, defense, and resistance. So as you guys can see, I aimed to get about plus 100 speed on him. I wanted to get pretty good defense on him and a little bit of HP. You can go with a little more HP and a little less defense and he still works just fine. You only need about 15% accuracy, so aim for that. Other stats don't matter. And as far as the other room that you put him on, it can be almost anything. You can put him on Revenge, and that'll work out pretty decently. But it really doesn't matter. I chose to go with Fight to make my other units do a little more damage. The next unit we're going to go with is Mr. Crow here. So as you can see, my Crow is pretty slow. Good crit rate, kind of low on crit damage, but and absolutely does not meet the minimum requirements for resistance. However, my Crow is actually only really used in here when I'm doing R5 carries or in Rifts and Giants. So I didn't worry about him getting the max resistance, but here you go, this guy will get you what you need as far as big damage is concerned. Because he does damage based off of harmful effects on skill 3, and he adds branding, he is just doing a huge amount of damage. Huge amount of damage. There are other ones that you can go with, but he is a very good one to aim for. You do want to make him a little tankier than normal. You know, plus 7,000 HP or more, I would say, is a really safe spot to be in. Don't laugh at my Hua. I have not upgraded her in years. She's got pretty basic stats. Honestly, I would probably put her if and when I ever redo her, I'll put her on Swift Blade or something of that sort. But as you can see, I kind of went with a very tanky route. I want her there, alive, doing damage. You can actually lose about 3,000 of that and put it into a little more speed and a little more damage. If you get her to about plus 100 and plus 1,000 attack, you're going to be golden. She's going to do really good damage. She's going to decrease the attack bar. She's going to be hitting with putting on a lot of dots or a lot of harmful effects. She's a very, very useful unit for R5. Diaz or Darien here. And I'll show you both of them. He also hasn't been upgraded in years. But for him I went HP, defense. You want to try to get him a little bit of speed, but he doesn't need a ton. You just really want to make sure he's very tanky. And you're really using him for his passive, right? Same with Darien. You're using Darien for his passive. Darien, you want to try to get on Revenge, by the way. Decrease the chances of why am I reading it on there? Of receiving critical hit damage by 50% and reduces the damage that other allies receive by 15%. It doesn't stack with Darien, so don't try to like use them both. My Chastoon is garbage. Anybody can make these stat requirements. And as you guys saw, she's my only healer. And this is a successful R5 team. She's garbage. I keep her garbage for videos like this. Honestly, for content like this is why I keep her bad, like a garbage unit. Now, if you were kind of, you know, maybe you're not doing too much damage, you know, you're not doing enough damage or whatever, you can also put in a Colleen over the next option. So like in that final spot, you could put a Colleen there, and that you'd be fine there as well. Any frontliner would really work. But as you can see, she's not super tanky, she's not super fast, she's just kind of basic. I went speed, HP, HP. She doesn't even have good runes on her. Pretty easy. We're not even going to go over the final unit in there. Y'all don't need to know. She's not the best unit in here, however, she's not bad either. Gets an extra turn with a 20% chance. When your turn is over, really useful to just constantly be hitting them. Increases the activation rate as you don't get it. Cool beans, whatever. Attacks the enemy 3 times in a row, absorbing attack bar by 20% with each strike. That's a big thing, right? So that's 60% of the attack bar that's been absorbed. Very awesome. For her, she's obviously a unit that benefits off speed, so you do want to go Swift runes or Fatal runes that are fast. But speed, crit damage, and attack. Try to aim for plus 100 speed, plus 1000 attack. Another free-to-play option, you can get her from the guild store. Same with Yen, by the way. You can get, and Hua, you can get them both from the guild shop. So you want to build her on Vampire. I've actually used her as a frontliner before on Vampire, which is pretty good. But you want to get her kind of tanky, a little bit of speed, crit rate, some crit damage, kind of just well-balanced unit. If I put 2 artifacts on her, they would both be attack artifacts to try to get her attack a little higher. But as here, I went speed, crit damage, and attack. She also has not been upgraded in a very long time. With BGR5 being so popular, there wasn't really too much of a point, right? Darien is the next one. So with Darien, I really wanted to go double Revenge, and I went Endure to kind of just push him to that point for the resistance. I'm 3 short of having max resistance with the leader skill. However, still that's not bad. He's relatively tanky. He doesn't need to be super fast. He's there for his passive, and when he revenges, he can do defense break. So I went HP, defense, HP. Or defense, sorry. HP, defense, defense. You can go HP, defense, something of that sort if you want. You can even go speed, but I don't recommend going speed. Like I said, he doesn't need a ton of speed. He just doesn't. So other monsters that are really good in here, he can be pretty good. As you see, I built him with a decent amount of speed and a decent amount of HP, but I also put shield runes for the first attack and then fight runes. So he's kind of there to just make my monsters do more damage while he himself does a little bit of damage. This is a very good unit that everyone has starting off, right? Removes all harmful effects on all allies and recovers HP by 15%. That's pretty solid. Skill 2 is pretty good as well. Fills up an attack bar of and gives them attack buff. Pretty good. Build, speed, HP. And you want it pretty fast because it's going to be your cleanser. I built mine on Swift, as you guys saw. I don't use it, so I don't have it built anymore, but so depending on how your Bastet is actually built, if it's built just for speed and is kind of not so tanky, don't use it. This one is built for stuff like this. I just got Odin, so it won't be built like this for very long. It's gonna have a lot more speed. Not reliable enough. I see a lot of people who are trying to use this as their solo cleanser. It's not reliable enough to be a solo cleanser. If you got her, I get it, you want to use her. Don't. Don't. Not in R5. There are better units that do exactly what she does. They just do it better. Colleen. So mine was built for like all of 5 minutes to do the Predator a couple months ago. I did the Predator and took her apart. Because I don't use her too often. Ever. But she is very good for Rifts and very good in R5. You pair her with a Chasun and you can do great things. Speed, HP on Violet. You want her on Violet because she only actually has the one heal. So you want to make sure that you just keep rotating that heal in. Alright, let's see. She's another really good option. Violent anything. She's a cleanser. Very good cleanser as well. Skill 3. You do, all your cleansers have to have their skill, their cleansing skill max skilled. Have to. Speed, HP. On Violet. Oblivion does not work on the boss. Okay, so she's actually a big time damage dealer in R5. Attacks the enemy, decreases their attack power, and their increases their chance of landing a glancing. And then this does damage based off of harmful effects, so she can do a lot of damage. Fire Panda can be good in there, or Wind Panda can be good in there as a frontliner if you absolutely have to. Jamire for cleansing. You want to build them super tanky. She is really good in there. You go speed, HP, and HP or defense there, and you need her skill 3 maxed out, but she does a heal with a cleanse. Very good. It's essentially what Kona does, but double the healing capability. Also provides Will Rune, but that's not that important. Skogul, if built on Vampire, can be really good in there as well. Showed you Darien. Okay, this is another one that I see a lot of. She's not an R5 unit. I know she's kind of tanky, guys. She's not an R5 unit. For like early beginners, Vero's kind of useful. Because of its passive. Doesn't really, because of his passive. He doesn't do a tremendous amount of damage though. He can't stun the boss. So he doesn't add a lot to it. But if you make him really tanky, he can kind of frontline. But if Vero's a core option for you, you probably aren't ready for R5. If I'm being honest. Like, I'm not trying to sound like a jerk. That's just how it is. If Vero's like a front runner for you, you're probably not ready for R5, so just kind of hang back and do more Giant Dragons and whatever. There's a lot of units you can use to frontline, but she's another one that's kind of good in there. Mine's super slow, but she hits really freaking hard. I actually need to 6-star her and get her up. I have her on another account, so I just haven't bothered building her on this account. I use Crow. They're almost the same thing. But she's really good in there because skill 2 does reduce attack bar, and she does big damage. She does damage based off of harmful effects, and she gets an extra turn, or she gets an extra attack if the enemy that she hits has a debuff. And they're always going to have a debuff. Almost always going to have a debuff. I should definitely say almost always. Somebody will quote me and be like, "You said they always have a debuff and you were wrong, you lied to me." You're right. I was wrong, I lied to you, I'm sorry. Jamie is a very underrated, very underused cleanser. He can do big time damage as well as being a cleanser. So you max this out and it goes down to, I do believe, a 3-turn cleanse. And he's a damage dealer. You can build him as a backline unit and run 3 front, 3 back. Kind of have 3 damage dealers and 3 frontliners. Very good unit though. Very powerful. Very underrated. I may build him just to show you guys. Actually, in fact, scratch that. I will build him to show you guys. Someone remind me to build him. No, but seriously, those are just like a lot of the units that you guys can use. Like I just gave out an entire team of free-to-play units, but here we go. We'll do this. Boom. And then boom. Then you would use him, her, that team right there on the left side. It'll work. You could replace Colleen with Kona if you want a secondary kind of backup healing, so something like that. If you find yourself like your Crow dying, you could even do this and do something similar to this. This will also give you 2 usable leader skills, defense and crit rate. This team will work. So those are just kind of some options for you guys. I don't want to take up any more of your guys' time. This video has gone by like so much time already. This was not supposed to be a 20-minute video. But I'm glad it just kicked me out of there. Anyways, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. I'm gonna leave my Twitch down there below. I'm gonna leave the Twitters, my personal Twitter and the T1G Twitter down below as well. Discord is, whatnot. So please go follow, like, subscribe, join us on the Discord channel if you guys haven't already, and let's kind of grow together, guys. I'm gonna have got a lot more videos coming for you guys. Anyways, I'll see you all soon. Much love. Take care. Later, guys.